I'm attempting to do what everyone said was impossible, make $100 an hour playing low stakes poker. Everyone said it couldn't be done. Our goal is to hit $100 an hour, and we've had a long journey so far in the first 78 hours of this challenge. Over the first 8 episodes, we've made $6,561, putting our total hourly at just over $84 an hour. We're back on track, in the right direction, especially after 2 big wins in the previous episode. We sit down with $2,000 this time at the 1-3 table, ready to keep the win streak alive. I arrive at the fort just after 5 p.m. looking to lock into a nice long session, and then I see this table. There's already massive stacks on the table, and this game is 75% match, so I buy in for $2,000. I can see the comments already on this video. Wolfgang, that's not how my 1-3 game plays in the middle of America. Well, I'm sorry. Here in Texas, the games are bigger. I'm a co-owner at the Fort Card Room. I'm doing the challenge here, and we're not going to change the rules just for this series, so buckle up. This is going to be a fun one. I look down at Queen 10 of clubs, and I raise it up to $20. We get 1 caller. It skips my buddy Sam Queso over there on the $6 button straddle, and we see a nice large raise here already. Straight out of the gate, $120 to go. I'm not going anywhere. I got deep on this table to play big pots and try to win $100 an hour, so of course I put in the call. The hijack calls as well. Sam Queso does not, and we are going 3 ways to a flop, which comes pretty great on a King 9-5 with 2 clubs board. I flop myself the front door flush draw and the gut shot to the straight, so when the original raiser checks it over to me, I bet out for 100 and Cinco de Mayo, and both players folds. We're taking down a nice $525 pot straight out of the gate, straight into Profitsville. And in the next hand of note, the exact same opponent opens it up to $15, and 2 players on my right put in the call. I decide to defend with pocket 6s here, and we see a pretty groovy flop of 8, 6, deuce, bang, we flop middle set. It checks over to the player on my right, who fires out for 2 green chips, and the action's on me. I have a decision here between just calling or raising. I decide to call simply for the fact that the opponent across the table who raised pre-flop and checked the flop might be doing this with all of his overpairs. If he is, he's definitely going to check raise on this board, trying to get more money in the middle. If I raise it myself, I might let a good opponent off the hook here, so I just toss in 2 green chips, but unfortunately he doesn't check raise. He folds his cards, but luckily we pick up 1 additional caller. Off to the turn we go, which comes the king of clubs. The same opponent now fires out for $135, and I decide to call once again, continuing the story that I have a 1 pair type of hand. On the 9 of clubs river, I'm interested to see what my opponent does. Unfortunately, he decides to slow down and check. I bet out for $340 trying to get called, but he doesn't. Folds his cards. Still, back-to-back nice sized pots here have our chip stack going in the right direction. I was in for $2,000. I now have $2,500, and we've played less than 2 hours. I then look down at ace queen offsuit from the cutoff. There's a $10 straddle and a limp to the player on my right, who makes it $35 to go. I want to bump this up north. I don't want to just call here. 2 other players call, and we're going Texas heads up to a flop, so I make it $115 to go. The player to my right puts in the call. He's the only one to do so. We're heads up to the flop, which comes Jack 10-9 rainbow, $254 in the middle, and he starts with a check. I'm open-ended here. I have 4-2 a straight. I think about going for a bet, but if the opponent raises me, I don't really love my life with just ace high. So instead, I decide to check behind, and that brings in the 6 of diamonds, which really shouldn't change too much, because if he had 7-8, he already had it on the flop. When he goes for a bet here, I don't love my life. It's $210, and I don't have too many ways to improve. Only an 8 or a king would do that, and that's only 8 outs. Even if I hit a queen, I really wouldn't like this spot. So when you don't have a made hand and there aren't a ton of cards that can help you on the river, it's probably best just to fold here. What, is he just going to give up on the river? Probably not. Most likely, I'm just going to brick the river. He bets and I fold. So let's save $210 and just get rid of it here on the turn. Welcome to the Canada Poker Road Trip. Starting this November 4th, Rampage and I will take on an insane road trip through Canada, where we'll be competing day to day, city to city, and seeing who can come out on top, raising the stakes and evoking the Canadian poker gods.
We're going to every single major city.
Vancouver, Banff, Calgary, Edmonton, Winnipeg, Montreal, Ottawa, and Toronto. We'll be doing meetups in every city as well as coming to your very own home games.
Also, I think I'm in desperate need of a haircut, but I'm going to wait because there's going to be so many punishments and challenges, and there's a very high likelihood that one of us will end the trip with a shaved head.
And we're even doing giveaways every single day of the trip.
2 weeks in Canada, celebrating the official launch of Club WPT Gold.
Get ready, Wolfgang and Rampage's takeover starts November 4th. And obviously, because we're coming to Canada, that means you can now play legal online poker in all of those major cities on clubwptgold.com. And as a bonus, if you use code Wolfgang at sign up, you'll get 10 chips after making your first purchase and have the chance to win an extra 555 chips if you simply final table my $55 tournament that runs every single day. Online poker, Canada, code Wolfgang. I'll see you guys there. Hey, we're still up $350 and patience is gonna pay off when we look down at the second best hand in the game, but I'm a little bit biased. I think it's the best hand in Texas, the Cowboys. Let's go. I raise it up to $40 over a $10 straddle and a limp. We're gonna pick up a few callers here. Off to a flop we go, which comes jack high, and that is just what the doctor ordered. Jack 4-3. What a dry board. I start with a check because sometimes I can be a little bit tricky. And let's go for a check raise when the opponent at my left bets out for $80 and we trap another one here. He puts in the call as well. The price of poker has just gone up, gentlemen, $255. We lose that first $80 raiser, but not the second guy who check called the 80. And now I guess if it's good for 80, it's good for 255. I have him right where I want him. 724 in the middle, and the turn now comes the 4 of spades. This really shouldn't change too much. I don't expect him to have a hand like 5-4 or ace-4 that probably just would have folded the flop. So I think at best he has a jack. Let's try to milk him. $225. He puts in the call once again. On the brick river, which comes the deuce of hearts, he now just open jams for $714. And I pause for a second. Obviously, I want to put my money in the middle, but what is he jamming the rest of his stack in on that exact card? Does he just have a hand like Jack 8, Jack 9, Jack 10, and wants to make sure that I don't check behind with a pocket pair like 10s, 9s, or maybe like Ace, King high? It just doesn't make too much sense. Usually when it doesn't make sense, they probably have a good hand. But for the majority of you guys that aren't from the great state of Texas, things are a little bit differently here. There's stuff in the water. I can't explain it, but people just do crazy stuff, and folding kings would be a disaster anywhere in the country, but it would be a huge blunder here in Texas. So I put in the call. He says we're good, like I kind of knew, and $2,600 pot is our reward. We were patient in that last hand with ace queen offsuit. We get rewarded with pocket kings, taking down a massive pot here, which builds my stack up nicely to just under $3,400. Look at that. It's 10 p.m. on a Wednesday. I'm feeling great about how the session's going so far. I'm up nearly $1,400 and I've played 4 hours, but I know I'm coming back in 2 days on Friday to battle in what's gonna be the longest session of this challenge so far. So I rack up my chips, cash out, and want to be well rested for this Friday session where I immediately hop in for $1,500 and get after it right away with the bullets. Pocket aces, I make it $30 to go. We get 3-bet to 150. Of course, I'm gonna 4-bet to 400. I don't need to go super large, and when he folds, a little bit more of the same here. I just cannot be stopped, taking down a nice sized pot, which gets my stack up to $1,650. I look down at ace-7 of hearts and make it $30 to go. We're gonna pick up a bunch of callers here, going multi-way to a flop, which comes, no joke you guys, Jack 10-4. Bang, we flop the nut flush. I don't want to go too large here, who wants some fish on the hook, so I bet out for $25 and 2 players call, indicating they have something they want to continue with. The turn comes the 8 of spades. I fire out for $55 and both opponents call as well. The river now comes the 6 of spades. I get a little bit too tricky and check it over to them, going for a check raise or even a check shove. But when both players check behind, I tell them not to turn over their cards. I have the best hand. I played it like a ding dingus on the river, but I'm making $340, so our stack is going in the right direction. $1,900 now. I'm up $400 when I look down at pocket tens. There's a raise to 20 and a call. It bypasses the guy to my right who put $6 on the straddle. That's ultimate last action for you non-Texans, and that means it's on me. I go large here, $100. We're gonna pick up 3 callers, meaning 4 ways to a flop, which comes queen, 10, 9, bang, we flop middle set. It's been just over 90 minutes and we've already had pocket aces, flopped a nut flush, and now middle set of tens. What is going on? The action's on me. I start with a check, looking to go for a check raise, but when everyone checks behind and the turn comes a scary 8 of hearts, my plan goes out the window and I start with a check once again. But the guy on my left bets out for $200 and there's a call. Decision point here when the other player folds. Do I now check raise on this very scary board, or do I call, look for a board pairing card on the river, and then get money in the middle? I think both options are pretty good, but a jack is never folding, so I decide on option B, just put in the $200, wait for the board to pair, which it does. That's my favorite card, the 8 of diamonds. I now most likely have the best hand. There's 4 figures in the middle, just over $1,000. And I look down at my stack. It's kind of weird. I have $1,600. What size do I go for here? If I go too small, I'm probably not gonna make enough money. If I go too big, I might scare everybody off. In the middle looks super milky and they might just fold. Without much logic, I decide to get greedy here if I wanna hit my $100 an hour. Maybe someone will get curious here if I jam it all in, and that's exactly what happens. One of the opponents goes into the tank for a while, thinking about his decision, but ultimately making the right one, and he folds. Unfortunately for me, I'm not making any extra money. Maybe if I tossed in 2 black chips, he would have called, but instead, he wasn't able to pay me off, but I just can't lose, you guys. So,
can I make $100 an hour over 100 hours? Do you think it's possible?
Only 100 hours?
Yeah.
I think you need a bigger sample, but yeah, of course. You're playing like 1-3, match the stack, and everyone in the 1-3 game plays like 5-10.
Ethan thinks I can do it.
I think you're a great poker player, and you can get it done.
Here's the follow-up question everyone wants to hear. Do you think you could do it? Do you have the discipline to make 100 an hour at 1-3?
I did a 1-2 road to 10K bankroll challenge like 2 years ago. My hourly was too high, but that was over like 50 hours or something. I made it to like 10K in 50 hours.
Big sample size?
50 hours, no, not many hours at all.
He's complaining I'm only doing 100 hours, and then he uses evidence that he over a 50-hour sample size.
I sunned it. I was making like 30 bigs an hour at 1-2 or something or more.
Let's get into the hands.
when it worked one time with pocket tens, let's do it one more time. I look down at them from the low jack and make it $40 to go over a straddle and a limp. The opponent in seat 9 now 3 bets to $150. I'm not going to 4-bet. Instead, I just call, going heads up to a flop, which comes pretty dry. 7-5 deuce with 2 diamonds, and he fires out for 125. I put in the standard call here, and the turn pair is the top card, coming the 7 of spades. When he checks, he most likely has a pocket pair like 6s, 9s, ace king, ace queen, king jack suited. So I'm gonna fire out for $355 because I beat all of those hands. And when you have a better hand than you think your opponent has, let's get some value here. But we're not gonna get any value. He folds his cards. He didn't get curious with any of his ace or king highs. And now this is where the session gets a little bit fun, but not because of the poker. We meet up with Jessica, a fan of the vlog, a regular here at the fort, and overall one of the funniest people I've met here in this card room. And for obvious reasons, she's a fan favorite on the vlog.
What is your necklace?
Oh, like this necklace?
Yeah, can you get a little closer and show them?
Yeah. Oh no! Your boy here is like, it's there for y'all.
We're getting up to 3 minutes and then...
All right, I gotta focus here. I'm on the live stream. We got Jessica behind me, but the ultimate goal is to make a ton of money and prove to you guys that low stakes poker is still profitable. So we gotta lock in here. There's a raise to 20 and a call over the $6 button straddle, and I make it $90 to go with ace 10 offsuit. Both players put in the call. That is not expected. The squeeze did not work, but the dealer can still bail us out, and he does. 10-7 deuce rainbow. rainbow, and I go for a bet of $55. We're gonna get called in both spots, and there's just no way that I'm beat here. Unless one of them has pocket sevens, I'm gonna go for value on the turn. I go all in. Both players have less than me, and Jeff puts in the call for 130 bucks. He wants to run it twice. I oblige. He has an open-ended straight draw, and when both river cards are put out there, we hold on both boards. $704 is my reward.
That was good for poker, good for the bankroll challenge. Just make it 93 with ace-10 off up top there. It's JD. It's the best gift.
Appreciate that, boss. This from a fan. Fan gave it to you. It's not a bomb.
Drew, you're gonna love this. What do you think about this?
I love this. You know what?
Let's not pull it out.
I was going to.
Oh, don't make it.
Why do you want this?
It's hilarious. Why do I not want that?
Yeah.
Which brings us into Jack King off. There's a raise to 25, a call, actions on me. I'm gonna squeeze. I've been squeezing all night, and I make it $125 to go. I've still yet to lose. The original raiser puts in the call as well as the cutoff. This might be my toughest test of the day, and it definitely is. When the board comes 9-8-6 with 2 diamonds, there's $400 in the middle. The original raiser bets out just over half the size of the pot. The cutoff folds, and I can't call here with my Jack King off. Taking the first L of the day, it sucks, but I still have to remember I'm only in for $1,500, and I now have over $3,000 in my stack.
Some card dead, bleeding money. I'm coming on like 8 or 9 hours at this point, which is one of the longer sessions I've had in this challenge. I'm pushing, but we're not getting any cards, so it's gonna have to change here soon. Why aren't you playing the WSOP?
I need a sponsor, so.
Anyone else in the chat?
$14.99, not enough, not enough.
Everyone say goodbye.
Bye. See me on YouTube. We'll see you there.
It's time to say goodbye to the fan favorite of the live stream and the vlog, Jessica. You will be missed in this video, but it won't be the last time you'll appear on the channel, I'm sure. We look down at Ace Queen offsuit now from under the gun. I haven't played a hand in like 2 hours, no joke. Woo, woo. Beware, he hasn't raised in an hour. I went that card dead. I guess when you just have so many good hands in the first half of the session, it's gonna happen for a good portion of the time, but that's not great for the hourly. In normal card rooms, when you don't play a hand for a while and then you finally come in for a raise, everyone seems to fold. But good thing we are in Texas, because when I make it $35 to go, we get 1, 2, 3 callers, not before the guy to my right.
There's no way you 3-bet me.
Makes it $150. Yes, that's right. I raise after 2 hours of not playing a hand. We get 3 callers and then a 3-bet to 150 bucks. So let's think about this here. Of course I could call. Of course I could 4-bet, but I actually think the best play is to fold. I haven't played in a while. A guy just 3-bet to $150. There's already a lot of action in the middle, but the cards are gonna hit the muck. I make the disciplined fold, something I'm usually very good about doing. I know it's not splashy and what you guys prefer to see on the vlog, which is blood and pain, but I'm trying to hit my goal, and I have to make big folds like this in weird spots in order to do so. Now shout out to Cookie, one of my good friends here in the game, who pulls up with a bottle of Macallan, a very good whiskey, and makes a toast to the game and all of you guys.
Not a better sport in the world. This one we're playing right here. And a bunch of good guys doing it. Toast.
The pocket sevens and Jack King off.
It's just after 2 in the morning. We're sipping on some whiskey, but this actually might be one of the most interesting hands of the video. I raise it up to $40 over a $10 straddle, and we immediately see a jam for $92 on my left. Cookie puts in the call for 92 bucks. The action's back over to me, and I love that I'm able to raise here. I made it $40 over that $10 straddle, which means the jam only needs to be $70 for the action to be open. So of course, I'm gonna 4-bet to $275. We're feeling lubricated here with that whiskey in our belly. So I think Cookie is gonna put in the call, and he does. Tosses in the $275. We lose the button straddler. 3 ways to a flop, but one player's already all in, and the flop comes King 8-7 rainbow.
Wait, you showed me your cards.
Don't show me your cards. What did he have, Cookie?
He can't tell you.
So you can show his cards, but he can't say what you have?
It starts off kind of funny, but when he gets super defensive about not letting me know what he has, even though Cookie knows that he has a certain hand, that's just information that needs to be public to everyone who still has action left behind. So of course the floor gets called over. They make the ruling that his pocket tens have to be tabled and shown face up, and we proceed from here. After that weird situation, the action goes check check on the flop. I have top pair, top kicker, but I think I'm way ahead of Cookie, so I want him to catch up on the turn. I go for a $155 bet and he calls, bringing in the 4 of spades on the river. I give him some rope and check it over to him. I also kind of just feel weird about this hand. I'm a part owner in the fort. The floor was called over. I don't normally get weird at the table, and quite honestly, if I was just filming a short or something that wasn't a part of a $100 an hour challenge, I might have just let it go, you guys. I know it sounds crazy, but I really want to hit this goal, and so I put my foot down. I know what the right thing to do was to turn over the pocket tens, and so I kind of feel weird now on the river. I know I'm going to win this hand. I check it over to Cookie. He checks behind. We're going to beat pocket tens, and Cookie had 3 deuce offsuit. So you can see the type of guy that Cookie is. Definitely not an angle shooter, a really great human being for many reasons, and you know, he gives good action too. So thank you, Cookie, for helping me out in this bankroll challenge. It's 2:45 in the morning, and I'm quite honestly done with poker for the day. I've played just under 10 hours. I bought in for $1,500, cashed out for $3,333, so a profit of $1,833 in 9 hours and 40 minutes. That brings this episode 9 total up to $9,779 of profit in just under 92 hours of play, good for $107 an hour. I've successfully passed the $100 an hour mark, but still with 8 hours to go, anything can happen. I need all of you guys to tune into the series finale when it comes onto your Explore page in the next few days. It's been an absolute grind playing 92 hours up into this point and getting all of these vlogs out for you guys, so I need everyone that's watched this series and supported to tune in to see if it's really possible to make a crazy amount of money in low stakes poker. I appreciate everyone for tuning in. Thank you for hitting that like and subscribe button if you guys are new. There's 2 videos on your screen right now. Click one of those to keep on watching. Go buy my merch at shopwolfgang.com, and as always, I'll catch you guys in that next video. Peace!